Hello, all. Joe Ingoglia come to you from Long Island, New York, in my studio. And in this specific segment, we are using myself as I'm working on my driver. And I want everybody to kind of see the importance and the advantage of teaching with technology. So we have the TrackMan radar system. We have swing catalyst force plate measuring what's going on in my feet throughout the golf swing. And then we have a few different camera angles and the important piece of understanding which camera angle to work on depending on specifically what on the golf swing we are focusing on. So what you'll notice here is we have the TrackMan data here to the left side, and the right hand side of that box we also have my pressure in my feet, or as some of you may look at that as where my weight is moving, but it's really where my pressure is moving. So what we want to do is we want to take myself to the top of the swing and kind of compare and see what's going on here. So if we go to the right hand side of the screen, which is the before, we go to club path, and what we notice about this club path is that this golf club is swinging into out, or for me to the left, being a left-handed golfer, 6 degrees, with a club face that was almost 7 degrees close at impact. So naturally, you look at those numbers, you say, okay, there's going to be a pretty wide dispersion there, and we're not just looking in golf lessons of hitting these great golf shots. What we're looking at is really tightening up the dispersion, so when we go out on the golf course, we don't have the worry of that big miss. We know that big miss is just in the left or the right rough. So on the left-hand side of the screen, this is my after. You can certainly see I had a path that was 4 degrees into out, which is a little bit more acceptable. But more importantly, my face to that path was only 1 degree close to my target. So we're looking at matching those up a little bit better. But for the point of this video, we want to look at the force plate data. So in this case, I'm a little bit more centered. Right hand side, I moved a little bit more off the ball. Nothing crazy. Stance-wise, pretty much the same. So what we want to do, specifically speaking here now, is we want to look down the line and see if there's any differences. So naturally, the hip tilt, the feet, a lot of this is all in the same position. Camera angle is a little bit off, so bear with me there. But what we really want to look at now is our third option of the camera, which is a view from the top down. And this is a view that I use quite often to help illustrate what we're trying to see in specific parts of the golf swing. So what we're doing here is we're drawing up a line right down our target line, or where our golf ball is. And what we see specifically in this golf swing is if we just drew a line from the butt end across on both of these, we start to see a bit different pieces going on in the club shaft. So what we notice here on the right hand side is that my right wrist, my top hand, went into what we call extension. Okay, and that naturally will open up the club face and encourage my club to swing across the line. On the left hand side of the screen, what we did was we felt, or I created the feeling that from halfway to the top, as I rotated to the back, or excuse me, to the top of my swing, that my arms rotated to the top of my swing as well. Okay, and naturally we have this different image in the golf swing. What this on the right is going to encourage is more path going super into out, okay, which is going to make it harder for me to align that club face consistently each time. On the left-hand side of my screen, being in a better top position, it's giving me a better chance, a better opportunity for me to square that face and let it run without having too many compensations working into the golf ball. Now we see that in the foot pressure, and then we saw that a little bit in the forces. But naturally, we also have a different face angle, face orientation at the top of my swing. These are all things that are giving me a better chance at hitting this golf ball straight consistently. Now, one of my favorite features of Swing Catalyst is being able to overlay this to really show the difference on these specific golf swings. So obviously, we love the golfer or the shaft to the right, and we're less thrilled about this shaft to the left because that is cross line, and I have to make some form of compensations on the way down, and with higher club head speed, that is certainly something hard to do. So this is a little bit of a clip in what it's like teaching with technology, getting under the hood and not just seeing things from the old school views, but really looking at it from a different lens, so to speak. So I hope this helps. And any questions, feel free to reach out.